Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a privilege to come before you it's Wednesday, okay, another day. Thank you for joining. So welcome back to a beautiful day. To my beautiful people, welcome to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. As I mentioned, I am your host, Dr. Mellisa Lambert. I am an author, a chaplain, and your financial consultant. You know, my heart, it's all about helping families. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm always about helping people. You know, my slogan is what? Love God, serve people, and leave a legacy. I want to always honor God in everything that I do. Everything that I say, all glory belongs to God. And in the process, I am God's daughter, and I want to be the light of this be the light in this dark world, right? And that's showing the love of Christ and, you know, being that Christ light, you know. So I serve people by showing Christ through me, right? So I love serving people, and I like what the Bible says, leave an inheritance for your children's children, and also a legacy that lives on after I'm gone, right? So that's where that leave a legacy comes in. But today, I will be diving deep into something I want y'all to really pay attention to. Today's conversation, I'm going to talk about understanding the language of infinite banking, taking control of your money God's way, right? And y'all know for the last year, I've been on, and I also have my partners, Tony Chambly, Harold Johnson, Mara, that comes on, and they came on and we talk about different things, right? And we talk about things that pertaining to infinite banking concept. As you all know, I became a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute in June, and it wouldn't have been possible without the help of God, but also without the help of Tony and Latoya Chambly from Core Financial Partners. I work alongside them to really bring this information out, and I'm so thankful for the Nelson Nash Institute, but I'm also so thankful for Latoya and Tony Chambly. If it wasn't for their knowledge, I wouldn't be here today talking about this. But I also want to give credit to Tony because we normally have our weekly sessions, and within that weekly sessions, we were talking about different terminology that we use for within the infinite banking concept. There is a language for everything, y'all. So I want to talk about and go over certain languages that you should know if you are looking to become to take that control back within your banking function of your life, or you already a client of mine or about to become a client of mine. These are some terminology, understanding the terminology behind infinite banking. I want you to make sure you have the power and the know, and, you know, because I always know when you know better, you can do better, right? So now understanding the terminology behind it, you're like, oh, okay. So again, when you understand the language of money, you can control it. I'm going to say that again. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. When you can understand the language of money, you can control it. When you don't understand the language of money, money will always control you. So it's either or. You understand, you control it. You don't understand, money then control you. So let's get educated, inspired, and empowered today. So again, you are tuned in to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, Dr. Mellisa Lambert, author, chaplain, and financial consultant. Today's the conversation is understanding the language of infinite banking, taking control of your money. And I say God's way, okay? Because the Bible speaks about how money should it should be, and we don't really live by that. So let's talk about it, controlling that money God's way. So let's start with the basic. What is infinite banking? I'm going to say we're starting again with the basic from the top. What is infinite banking? The infinite banking concept, or IBC, was created by the late R. Nelson Nash. He's the father. I call him the godfather of infinite banking because he's the founder of it. It's all about becoming your own banker, using specialized design whole life insurance policy as a financial system where money grows, you can borrow against it, and you can keep controlling it. Instead of giving interest to the bank, you recapture it and pay yourself back while your cash continues to grow uninterrupted. You're basically controlling the banking function in your life, y'all. Listen, that's it. You're doing what the banks are doing and not what they're telling you to do. You're doing what they're doing, and you're restructuring and shifting the banking function in your life by taking back control of the borrowing power, the putting in the money power, the recapturing your interest power. You're taking that control. So as a financial consultant, I teach clients 3 steps: teach, show, help you use. Teach you what IBC is, which is infinite banking concept. 2, show you how it works. 3, help you use it in real life. Those are the 3: teach, show, help you use. Right? Those are the 3 steps that I want to make sure you understand. So let's break down some of the most important infinite banking terminology, because understanding this language will set you apart. Tony always say, when you know better, you can do better, right? When you know what to do, you can definitely do, you can change a lot about yourself, a lot about your lifestyle, a lot about your way of living, your generation. You can change all that, right? So, and nobody can fool you now, because now you know the information. So let's begin. What is the first terminology we're going to talk about? Here's the first language: whole life insurance. It sounds like a curse to so many people because they're so used to hearing buy term, invest the difference. And they hear whole life, they start running like, oh, that's too much money, right? It's not a curse word. It's a good word, actually. This is the foundation. Whole life insurance is the foundation. It's permanent coverage. It's not term. It's permanent coverage that builds cash value and will pay you dividends. Whole life insurance. Don't run away from it. Hold on to it. It's whole life. It's permanent. A process that allows you to build cash value and also will pay you dividends. You can even use it as a savings account, right? Second terminology, cash value. You heard me say whole life has what? Cash value. So think of this as your wealth warehouse. So your whole life policy has what we call cash value. So you need to think about the cash value as your wealth warehouse. It's money that grows tax deferred, earning interest and dividends even when you borrow against it. I'm going to repeat that again. When you think about the whole life insurance, a part of the whole life insurance, one thing that's inside there is building cash value. What is cash value? I want you to think of it as your wealth warehouse. where you save. It's money that grows tax deferred. It's money that will earn interest, and it's money that's going to give you also dividends, even when you even decide to say, you know what, I have $3,000 in this cash value. I want to borrow $1,000. Your $3,000 is still there, growing tax deferred and growing interest as well, and collecting dividends. So even as you borrow from it, you're still growing, okay? It's uninterrupted, even though you interrupted it. The third terminology I want you to think about is policy loan. It's a part of what we just talked about, borrowing against it, right? So this is how you access your cash. You're not withdrawing your money, because if you withdraw, that means you're closing out the policy. No, you are going to not withdraw the money. You're going to borrow against it. So your money keeps growing for you. So that's a policy loan, when you can borrow against it while your money's still uninterrupted and there growing for you. Okay? So that's just the third terminology. So we have, the first one was whole life insurance. Second was cash value. Third is policy loan. Now, the fourth we're talking about is paid up addition. You will hear people say PUA, paid up additions. Okay? These are many policies inside your main one, and they grow your cash value faster. They grow your cash value faster. Okay? So what is paid up additions? There are many policies inside your main one. They grow your cash value faster. Okay? Then you have mutual life insurance company. These are companies owned by policy holders, which is you. Not a shareholder, meaning you're sharing in the profit. You can actually show up to the board meeting when they're talking about what's the dividends for the following year. They hold that meeting at the end of the year, December. You can show, because you are a part owner of this mutual life insurance company. As a policy holder, you can show up at their board meeting to hear what's going on with your or our money. So that's why we do all what we do, Infinite Banking Concept, through a mutual life insurance company. The next terminology I want you to know is dividends, right? You heard me say with a whole life insurance policy, you would bill what? Cash value, and you get paid out dividends. So what is dividends? The profit returns the company pays you each year. It's not guaranteed, but many companies have paid for their dividends for over hundreds of years. They have never missed a dividend, especially the ones that we work with. They have never missed a dividend payment, okay? And it's like, when you think about a dividend, it's like the policyholders, we just basically overpaid, and the insurance is paying us back, right? So it's profit returns. The company pays you back each year, and that helps your cash that you put in, your death benefit, the dividend. All three work together to grow your money. So you see, infinite banking isn't magic, y'all. It's math. You hear me? It's not magic. It sounds complicated at times, but when you slow it down and you continue to read and educate yourself, attend our core financial partners classes. We now host it on Mondays, and you can also connect with a corepreneur or connect with myself as your financial consultant. We can actually break and keep you understanding what infinite banking is. It's math, it's structure, and it's also stewardship. All right. So again, you are tuned in to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C. author, chaplain, and your financial consultant. Today's conversation, I'm talking about understanding the language of infinite banking, taking control of your money God's way. That part, okay? And I gave you at least a couple of the terminology that I want you to remember. First was whole life insurance. Second was what cash value is. Third was policy loan. Fourth was paid up additions. 5 is mutual life insurance company. And 6 was dividends, okay? So I talked about that. So why this matters, right? Why does this matter, right? I'm going to give you a scripture. Y'all know I love my scriptures, right? Proverbs 21:20 says, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. That means smart people don't just spend, they save, multiply, and circulate their wealth. What does smart people do? They save, multiply, and circulate their wealth. With infinite banking, you're learning how to store wealth in a safe place, a guaranteed environment, and still have access to it when you need it. Remember that. With infinite banking, you're learning how to store wealth in a safe place, guaranteed environment, and still have access to it when you need it. You're taking the same power banks, the same power banks use, and you're bringing it back to your household. You heard me say earlier, do what the banks are doing and not what they're saying. So the same power your banks have to basically, have your money in their storehouse, in their warehouse, storehouse, however you want to put it. They have your money there. They're collecting interest on your money. They're actually using your money to profit, right? The same power they have, guess what? You cannot bring that same power back to your household. It's been done for centuries, okay? Imagine funding your next car. Imagine funding your child's college tuition or a business, not by borrowing from the bank, but from your own policy. That is what we're teaching you here. And that's why this matters, right? That's freedom. And not only will that just be freedom for you, but that's also legacy. So I want you to kind of really, I'm not going to go too far out with all of this, and I always give people the understanding of what infinite banking looks like and how we can work together. I truly believe that many people don't realize the power of what I even share with people, because again, we're all in our own way at times. They're all got life going on. And I was telling our partners about, just imagine if the church get a hold of this concept and have all of their members becoming their own banks, right? And, getting their life insurance policy, through that process, and leaving their to their church 10% of what their death benefit is, right? So if I'm just going to just throw out a number, right? Say for instance, my death benefit is, say, $50,000, right? And what is 10% of $50,000? So that means I'm leaving. When I transition, my family gets $45,000, and the church gets $5,000. Say you have a total of 200 members doing the same $50,000 death benefit. I'm just saying, this is just giving you some numbers. $50,000 death benefit. Family gets $45,000. The church gets 10% of that. That's 200 members doing that. That means the church has over $1 million in their warehouse because the members realize that when they transition, when God takes them home, their tithes, their offering, their building funds, whatever financial donation they normally make, it also dies with them. If we can just teach the body of Christ to do that, put your church that you've been going to as a part of the beneficiary on your account. So they get 10% of, you put it in your will and your trust. When you put it there, you say, hey, 10% of whatever my life insurance policy is goes to my church. If 200 members do this, and they're going to die in different times, right? And they all die off whatever. That church itself has $1 million that comes to the ministry, not because they raised it, not because they asked for it, because that person decided, I want to leave something back to my church when I transition on. That's what power looks like. That's what freedom looks like. That's what legacy looks like. And that's how you really, when I say to you that understanding the language of infinite banking and then taking control of your money God's way, that's what taking control of your money God's way looks like. That you're now being able to be a blessing even while you're in the ground. Can we get an amen? Amen to that, right? So I truly want everybody to really understand this concept as much as you can, so you can feel, you can know, and you can begin to participate in the process of being your own bank. And it starts with you just having a conversation. Don't run from it. Don't think I can't afford it. Don't think this is not for me. Well, if you're supporting somewhere else at your house in your money, which is called a bank, which is an institution that is put out in your community for you to go and put money in. Remember, a bank we think is only a building. A bank is not just a building, y'all. Banking is a concept that we have not learned because we were brainwashed to believe that we can go into this building, put our money. We got to ask permission to get it out. We got to ask permission for how much we're going to use on a daily basis. We got to ask permission if we want to take all of it out at the same time on the same day. Because if they don't got that money in, so if you got $100,000, you want to draw $100,000 on Wednesday, right, or Thursday. And you say, you know what, I'm going to my bank. I'm withdrawing all my money. Do you think that bank is going to say, okay, we're going to give you the $100,000 cash right now? Absolutely not. You have bankrupt that bank that morning because they're starting out the day with expecting that people are going to come in to deposit money. They're expecting you to come in to put money in. They're expecting for you to not touch your own money. They're expecting for you to keep your money there so they can use it to move it around. Money don't make money sitting. Money make money moving. So don't you think that not having this, not doing this concept, I'm good. No, you're not. You're still supporting a cause called the banking institution. But instead of you being the bank, you're giving your power away to the bank. So what we teach here, what I love about Core Financial Partners is that the persons behind it, which is I'm talking about Tony and Latoya Chambly and also the corepreneurs. We are every single day educating ourselves and learning as we're going and learning as we're growing to be sure that this information does not get buried, especially with people that looks like me. I don't want to bury this information. I want this information to be at the surface and being used and being put into our community for us to wake up and be wiser on how money is moved and be able to say, I now have full control of my own money. So I'm hoping that, again, this is not me talking down at you or talking talking in a way where I'm forcing this information. I'm just giving you information that I pray that one of these days you get to use it. Because if you don't use it, they're using you, right? So when we go and still participate in the system, not saying we can't participate in it, but I now know how to be able to use their same trick to control and get the power back. Why wouldn't you not want to use the power that you just found out, which is through infinite banking? I told you it's not magic. Is it magic? It's just math, structure, and stewardship. We structure the policy. Remember, I went over those terms, right? How do we do this? Not everybody can do this now. And I always tell I am licensed by the Nelson Nash Institute as a practitioner, working alongside two other practitioners who has been doing this long before I've been doing it, Tony and Latoya Chambly. And we have other people that is also a part of CORE, like, Harold Johnson, who's also a licensed practitioner. We are students of the Nelson Nash Institute, which has been certified to share this information. So we know how to structure it and put the foundation together where you are able to use this as a banking function. We use a whole life insurance. What I said about that, that's the foundation. It's where permanent coverage is given to you. This is where you build cash value. This is where you also get dividends as well. Within that whole life, you also get a death benefit attached. So you get 3 attachments. You get cash, you get dividend, and you get death benefit for the price of 1, 3 in 1, right? In that, I said you got cash value. Think of this as your wealth warehouse. That's where you warehouse your money, and that money is growing tax deferred. That money is also accumulating interest, and it's giving you what? Dividends, right? Even when you borrow from the cash that you put in, your money is still not being interrupted. We also show you how to use it as a bank. You decide you have a big purchase coming around. You dump that money into your bank with your adding to your cash value, right? And you decide you want to do a policy loan. We're not telling you to close out the account. We're not saying to withdraw all the money. We're saying borrow against your policy. That's collateralizing the death benefit while your money is sitting there still growing uninterrupted. Then I talked about paid up additions, PUA. That's just a mini policies inside your main one that they grow your cash value faster. And as a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute, working alongside Tony and Latoya Chambly, we show you how your cash value will grow faster. We do all this through a company, Mutual Life Insurance. So a mutual life insurance company is what we do this through. You are a policy holder, which now you own you're a part owner of this mutual life insurance company. Not shareholder, meaning you share in the profit when you are a part of a mutual life insurance company. That's what we call the dividends. The profit return by the mutual life insurance company to you each year. It's not guaranteed, but I promise you, the companies we work with, they have never missed a dividend in over 100 years straight. They have never missed a dividend. So you good on that. And then you can also attend the board meeting, which happens at the end of the year in December, where they tell you what the dividends for the next year is. Next year is 2026. You can attend the December 2025 board meeting with the mutual life insurance company that we have, and we put you a part of, and you can hear what the dividends look like for 2026. Okay? So as I mentioned, it's not magic. Infinite banking is not magic. Just math. That's it. We structure it as your financial consultant, and we allow you to steward it in the right way. Okay? I'm hoping that this has been helpful for you. So how do you start? Maybe that's your question. I pray that is your question. Mellisa, this sounds powerful, but I don't know where to start. I'm glad you asked. The first thing is we start by educating, y'all. Listen, we love to educate. With Core Financial Partners, which is the company I work alongside with through this process, we start there, and I have my own website that's going to lead you directly to Core Financial Partners. So, it's LambertLegacyFinancial.com, LambertLegacyFinancial.com. When you get there, it's going to look just like what my company is, Core Financial Partners, right? And you get to see and understand everything about what I do and what we stand for, and how we take it to a whole new level, y'all. All right. So, and that is, again, even if you go to corefinancialpartners.com/my name, Mellisa, Lambert.com, Lambert.html, that still brings you to my LambertLegacyFinancial.com. And I want you to go there. When you go there, you can read about me. Everything is there, right? You can see my contact details. You can learn about who I am. And then underneath it says, it's time to let your money work for you. Now is the time to earn interest and stop paying it. We have been indoctrinated for so long believing traditional banking is the only way. No more. It's time to become your own banker and start using your life insurance for life and begin to earn interest on your own money. And it says schedule a call right now. And it will bring you to my Calendly. Pick a time. Let's have that dialogue. Let's talk about it. Let's be engaged. And let's believe that the possibility is endless, right? So that's first step. And there, if you go to my website, LambertLegacyFinancial.com, I want you to look at the About Us. You will learn about who Core is. You will learn our mission. You will learn our philosophy. You will meet the team. When you meet the team, you will see all of us and what we do. You find the main, Tony and Latoya Chambly that's there. You find one of my administrators. She's my liaison that you will meet, Sierra. Right? You see that, right? And then you also, I want you to go all the way down to where it says over, you will see videos, the Core videos. I want you to take some time and watch all these videos. I'm telling you, they're just short. They're like less than 5 minute videos, that you can actually spend some time, give or take an hour and a half and watch, right? Then you also have the Nelson Nash story. I want you to watch that. That's the founder of Infinite Banking. He gives you a clear understanding of infinite banking and how it came about. Go there and watch this documentary. And then many of us Americans, we're in debt. So we have a strategy to help you get out of debt and get you out of debt faster. And there's some podcasts that I done with Tony that he added to theirs as for the podcast. And I'm telling you, this man, he is so knowledgeable. He's my partner, but also my mentor. And I look to him for all things IBC, because he knows his stuff. He's always learning and always growing, right? So I just want you to make sure you get a chance. Again, education is the key. We want you to be educated. We want you to understand and to know the information as well. You can also go to CoachMellisa.com. That's Coach, Mellisa.com, CoachMellisa.com, if you want to just, go straight into booking a private session with me. That's great as well. I will walk you through the personalized wealth plan, explaining your numbers and show you how to build your own bank. Myself and Tony, we're always going to be there ready to help you along the way. So I don't want you to think you're on this journey by yourself. Together we can accomplish this. Together we can learn. Together we can grow. through this entire process. So I don't want you to ever think that, oh, she's going to share this and that's it. No, we're going to do this together. So I want you to still, in the process, understand the language of infinite banking so you can be able to take full control of your money. So that's what today's conversation was about. And I'm hoping that this helped you. Again, you're tuned into Women Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert. And this conversation is understand the language of infinite banking. You all know that's what I teach people, and what I really want people to understand. They have the power to control how they move their money and have that banking function in their life. I told you about what the infinite banking concept is all about. I also shared, what we do as a financial consultant. I teach clients 3 things: teach, show, and help you use. So I teach you what IBC is, show you how it works, and help you use it in real life. I gave you some of the concepts so you can understand whole life insurance, cash value, policy loan, paid up addition, mutual life insurance company, dividends. Those are the few basics. I didn't even give you too much. Right? When we start working together, we'll give you different books to read so you can stay knowledgeable. You can go to my YouTube channel, Women Emerge Network, Women Emerge Network. I've said a lot of stuff about infinite banking there. Tony Chambly's been on, and he talks a lot on infinite banking. Also, look up Nelson Nash. He's the father of infinite banking. That information is there as well. And I also share with you how you can get started. Go to my website, LambertLegacyFinancial.com. It's going to bring you to my core financial partners website. On that website, you will find information about me. You also will find the videos section where you can watch all the core videos. Take the time. If you can watch and scroll through Facebook, if you can scroll through YouTube, if you can scroll through, what's that other thing, TikTok, you can scroll through and sit and watch these videos, less than 5-minute videos, okay? And get the understanding and the idea of what this is all about. There's also the Nelson Nash story, the core debt strategy video. And listen to the podcast that Tony Chambly and I did together. Everything is there. So the first step is educate. Because when you know better, you can do better. And when you've been brainwashed for so long, you think this is the right thing to do is to just listen to the bank and not do what they do. Because we were told to listen. We were told to do. We were never to go do this. But we haven't been told that you have the same power that the bank does. Banking is not just a building. Listen to me. Banking is a concept. And through the infinite banking concept, you can take back that power. You can take back that power. So book that consultation with me. You can either go straight to CoachMellisa.com to go on my calendar immediately. I would love to connect with you. Coach, Mellisa.com, and I'll book that time with you. So as I close out today, I want to kind of leave a decree and declare. Y'all know I love declarations. So I want you to say this with me, and I want you to mean it. And I may repeat it 3 times. Y'all know with me, I like to do things in 3, okay? So I want you to say this. I am the bank. I control my money. My money serves my purpose and builds my legacy. That's right. You are no longer a borrower, y'all. You are a lender, a steward, and a kingdom builder. So let me say that again. I want you to repeat. I am the bank. I control my money. My money serves my purpose and builds my legacy. I'm going to repeat it again. I am the bank. I control my money. My money serves my purpose and builds my legacy. So remember, understanding financial terminology is not just about learning words. It's about gaining wisdom. And wisdom is what creates freedom. I'm so thankful. I always hear you. Always hear me say this. I'm so thankful for Tony and Latoya Chambly and my corepreneurs, the core family. Because of them, I'm able to understand this information. And I'm learning. I'm even learning what, not only infinite banking, I'm learning what final expense is. I'm learning all this stuff. I'm learning how to start a trust. Our next conversation will be about trust. Do you have a trust in place for your family? If you do have a trust, have you put your bank in the trust? Have you put your deeds in the deed from your house in the trust? Have you moved everything out of your name and put it in the trust? Have you put your bank, your trust as a beneficiary of your life insurance policy? So it's not just about, when I say I'm a financial consultant, I want to make sure that you have everything in place, even to the point of planning your own funeral. It sounds weird, y'all, but me learning about this final expense, you can literally write down your whole, literally I'm doing it. I'm writing down my whole plan, my whole program. I need y'all know I'm OCD, and y'all know I'm all over the place, and I love to plan everything. So I want to put that in place, put that in a book, and make sure it's given to the person or to the persons that will initiate that when that time comes. Listen, death is promised to all of us. We will come into this world and we will leave this earth. While you're here, you're planning your life. But while you're gone, why didn't you plan that too? Making sure your family don't suffer or struggle to bury you. Make sure that how they're burying you is at the right place that you want to be buried, right? How you want it to be done, who you want to be there. All that matters. How your money is going to be a la carted, right? I make sure all that is in place, and you put it somewhere where they can see it, they can know it. The same way you plan for today, you also should plan for tomorrow. Because regardless of the matter, I was telling my good friend Alicia Cannon, I said to her, girl, I ain't aging backwards, honey. I'm aging forward. And guess what, y'all? Next Wednesday is my birthday. So I'll be celebrating with y'all next Wednesday on my birthday. So, I'm not aging backwards. We're moving forward. So in that being said, I want you, as you move forward in life, I want you to remember it's okay to plan for tomorrow, because regardless of the matter, tomorrow will come. And I'm going to say this, and don't take offense to what I'm about to say. It is foolish of you not to think of your family when you're dead. When I say not think of them, you didn't plan to make sure there was money put aside for your burial. You didn't plan to make sure your family is financially taken care of when you're gone. You didn't plan to see legacy continue on for generations to come within you didn't plan all that. You decide you just want to live for today and not for tomorrow, because when tomorrow comes, they will figure it out. Don't be selfish. Don't do that. Don't be that person. They will figure it out. Oh, yeah, you're just selfish. And I hope you make it to heaven. Because that's selfish. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I don't like that. I want you to think of your family the same way you say, I love my family. Love them enough to make sure that tomorrow, when tomorrow comes for you, where you're going to go down in the grave, you can say, I've done well. My family ain't stressing. They ain't collecting no plate. They ain't doing no GoFundMe, because I know I'm in a better place. They gave me a good send away. They didn't have to cremate my body if that's not my request, right? They didn't have to cremate me. They gave me a good send home funeral, right? And that's all that matters, that you thought so highly of your family to start planning today and not only for tomorrow. So as your financial consultant, I will make sure all that is in play. I'll make sure you have those things in mind, because it's necessary. It's necessary for today, and it's necessary for tomorrow. It's going to come, and it will come to pass. Okay? So until, y'all know I'm now thrown off. So yeah, we did a lot today. We talked a lot. And I know that it's not easy to hear this information and be like, oh my gosh, what is she talking about? You got to hear it over and over again, more than one time. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. Okay? I want you to just stay connected to the information and be able to know that brighter days are coming, and you are part of that brighter day. Yeah, you're part of that brighter day. So until next time, keep emerging, keep believing, and connect with me so I can help you build that legacy. I want to be able to be that person to help you along the way. I'm your host, Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C. reminding you to love God, to serve people along the way. And in the process, let's leave a legacy. Don't forget to visit my website, lambertlegacyfinancial.com, or to schedule, go straight to my scheduler at Coach Mellisa. That's Coach, then Mellisa.com to schedule your consultation. It's a complimentary consultation. And from that consultation, I'll explain. I will answer your question. And if I can't answer it, I guarantee you Tony can. And if Tony can't answer it, I guarantee LaToya can. So, I truly love my core family. I believe so much that God has blessed me with such an amazing group of people that has the heart of God, that loves to serve people, and really want to see us continue the journey of leaving great legacy, not just our voice, not just our clothes, not just, items, but just leaving a legacy where it lives on, like Nelson Nash. Nelson Nash left a great legacy where even his granddaughter right now is running the Nelson Nash Institute. That's generation, his daughter's daughter, right? And that to me is impact. That is to me is legacy, and I want you to start that infinite banking journey today, because it's time to be the bank. Why? What are we waiting for? We're doing it anyway. Let's flip the script and let you now control the narrative when it comes to your own money. Okay, that part. So don't forget to follow me on different social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook at Mellisa S. Lambert. That's Mellisa S. Lambert. Also, that's on Instagram, as well as my TikTok is Dr. Mellisa Lambert, Dr. Mellisa Lambert. And you can go to my website, lambertlegacyfinancial.com. You can also join Lambert Legacy Financial on social media, on Facebook. You can also listen to all this podcast every Wednesday, every Thursday. I'm here every Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, right? And you can go back to Women Emerge Network on YouTube and listen to all of those podcasts. Or any of the 13 top podcasts, just find Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. That's Mellisa Lambert. Y'all, I said a lot, but don't forget today's conversation. I am excited about and I'm grateful to be able to talk about understanding the language of infinite banking, taking control of your money God's way. All right? So until next time, everybody, I will be talking next about trust, owning a trust, making sure you have everything in the trust, what that looks like for you. If you're in the state of Florida, I do work alongside a great attorney who will help you on that journey to get your trust started. He did my family trust, and now I want him to do yours, okay? He's an amazing man that does great things for the community at large. So until next time, y'all, take care. I want y'all to take charge. And remember, I love you. God loves you. Continue to do well. Continue to live on purpose. Continue to learn. Don't ever stop learning, because when you stop learning, you stop growing. You hear me? When you stop learning, you stop growing. Tony said this earlier this week. He said, readers are leaders, and leaders are readers. So do yourself a favor. Continue to read. Get one of my books go to MellisaBooks.com. Get coming out of Egypt and living in my abundance. Now living in my abundance. Also go get the Nelson Nash book, Becoming Your Own Banker, So this is what we need to do. We need to have that concept in mind to not only teach ourselves, but teach our children so they can teach their children. And that's where the legacy continues, just like Nelson Nash did. He taught his children, who taught their children. And now I guarantee this will continue generation to come. So again, thank you again for tuning in to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C. And just want to remind you to love God, to continue to serve people, and yes, let's truly leave a legacy. Until next time, take care, take charge, and continue to be great. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, where Mellisa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Mellisa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MELLISA SLAMBERT and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.